Ta-da. Good, really good.
Okay.
Just checking my sound. Yeah. I typed good morning and it said good morning. Why? No. Good morning and it's good morning. Why? Oops, let me turn that down. There's some sweet potato growing out in my garden this morning.
Oh.
Must have come from California because I brought my dirt over.
Oh, right.
I brought my compost over and must have been in there. So I think I'm gonna have purple sweet potatoes.
Oh, nice.
Hee hee. What do they call it? Volunteer plants?
Oh, when the seeds just end up in the soil?
Mm-hmm. And then you
Yeah.
just get a bonus volunteer plant. I've had volunteer purple basil before. So probably a bird just, it was next to the fence, so probably a bird sat on the fence and pooped out some purple basil seeds.
Mm.
And I had a bunch of basil one year.
Wow. And did you say purple basil?
Purple basil.
I've never seen purple basil.
Oh, there's so many types of basil. I love basil. Hey
Mhm.
bagel. I love basil. All kinds of basil. Yeah, Cal State, I think Santa Clarita or wherever one of my friends works as a librarian. They have horticulture and they have like Queen Thai basil. They have so much basil, like Queen Siam basil, lemon basil, which I don't care for, purple basil, the Genovese that you see, the regular Italian basil. So many different kinds. And Tulsi is holy basil as well. You've
Mm.
heard of Tulsi?
I've heard of it. I haven't used it before.
You want to see one?
Sure.
Okay. So glad I have this plastic table. Oh, hold on. My other webcam's in the way. It's in the shot. So here's a little Tulsi. I gave my friend's mom the big one.
Mm.
Let's go this way. Yeah.
It's
And then it'll have like little little flowers that look kind of like long are called spica.
mm.
And they'll have the seeds in them, and the seeds are quite potent. But the cool thing is if you have this fresh in your garden and you want to steep it with some boiling water, all I do is I pour the boiling water over the tulsi and almost immediately remove the plant matter, and it's perfect.
Mm.
And it'll get rid of your whatever you're coming down with if you catch it early. If you're just like, I don't feel 100% today, put
Mm.
make some tulsi, It's also anti-anxiolytic and quite mild. So when people hear mild, I don't think they like it. But to an herbalist, mild is wonderful because you can't go too far. You can't hurt the body. So this is kind of like why we are suspicious of Western medicine, is because it's not, you can't fine tune it. If you make a mistake, it's a big mistake, you know.
Right.
So Tulsi is often put in Indian people's courtyard as the mother. So it's seen as a motherly plant. And then they circumambulate it every morning. I don't know why. It's holy basil. I don't know why. Maybe we could look the story up. Or maybe my friend's mom could just tell me. Yeah, so for Indian families, the Tulsi is important. There's two kinds. There's Krishna Tulsi, which is purple. The stems are more purple. I have seeds for that. And then there's, maybe I should plant them. And then there's a Ram Tulsi, which is this one, the green one. So the one you're going to get mostly in the stores are the green one. Yeah. I can show you my seed collection. I feel like this is like I'm in elementary school, but I have so much stuff to show you. My seed collection. And then I'm gonna, maybe if it's not heavy, I'm gonna bring in the sweet potato. No, that's too heavy. Is it? It might be. This is not sweet potato. This is curry, the curry leaves that I planted. We'll see. People tell me it's not possible to grow it like this, but we shall see. I am determined. And no one who told me that tried. So she'll check in on the curry plant and see when we either get leaves or we give up.
That's the one that you brought back and planted?
Yeah, this is the one I brought back. I brought back and planted. So you see how there's still green to it. I don't know if you can tell.
Yeah.
It's not completely brown.
Mm-hmm.
So it's still alive. Come on, grow, grow, grow. Everybody send good vibes to the curry leaf plant. Grow, 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 grow. I do that like Totoro. Have you seen Totoro?
Mm-mm.
Oh, you gotta see that. See Totoro. Hi, NVIDIA. Grow, grow. Help me grow my curry leaf. Send us good vibes. I'm doing an experiment. Grow, 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 grow. Should we plant the mint today?
Are you gonna plant it?
Yeah,
You ready?
You know, yeah, I'm ready.
Sure.
Okay, we'll plant it with the tulsi. Is that a good idea?
I don't know. Is it? I don't
know. Let me think. Yay. Which plant is what? This one? Holy basil.
Yeah.
Let's see. Mint. Yeah, that's fine because mints. The reason I said what I was thinking was, which way does mint grow? Mint grows a lot sideways, and tulsi grows straight down. So the roots are not going to compete. You know, I'm not going to mess up one plant by planting this one next to it. So all we do is like, you see it? Let me know if you can't see it. Okay. Here. Just going to make a little space right here. You see those leaves that are growing? You see how it's growing sideways? Kind of. Just going to place that right shallow in the dirt. Uh-oh, tulsi's in the way. Just going to place this like shallow in the dirt like that. And keep it moist. Cover up the stem. Make sure the roots are touching. That's it. It's planted. We can check in on it. We can check. That's it. You see how fast that is? It's so tiny. Yeah, it'll. If it takes off, it'll take off real quick. That is the Mexican mint. Let's see if we have a mojito mint ready. Come on, anybody. This is yellow. I'm gonna throw this out. This is a fail. When I go back to LA, I'll bring some more mojito mint. Bigger stems, I guess. We'll try again. Nothing yet. Really, nothing yet. This looks brown. So that's not gonna make it either. We have like complete fail on the mojito mint. Let's check the rest of the Mexican mint because I already planted one. Oh, we have a baby. See the stem ones? The fat stem ones do pretty good. The leaves require like more energy. I should have took a lot of these leaves off. That was a mistake. See those little leaves already? Let's just stick that in the ground. I wonder if this is Mexican mint.
Are you gonna put it in another pot or else?
No, same pot. Same pot. Ooh, I think I see little roots coming. I'll leave it in the water a little while longer. Pop it off. I would put it in the ground, but when it's stronger, maybe I'll put it in the ground, or I'll put the pot on the ground and let the roots. Is that gonna work? I do want it in my ground though, and I tell you why, because grass is fine. Grass is one thing, but I was thinking if I had mint in my backyard, the gardener can come and cut it, but then it will give off what do you call, minty smell, and it'll cool off my backyard because I'm in Vegas. I'm gonna use it as like a little bit of an air conditioner, a little free air conditioner. Magnifying glass. Okay, those leaves are feeling crunchy. Take that off. Let's just shove that in the ground, see what happens. We'll see. Shove that in the ground. Oh, maybe not. Something hard. We'll lay it down. Maybe like that. Grow. Grow. I swear.
Maybe that's what I'm missing. I need to like encourage and empower.
Yeah.
When I'm
You need to talk to your plants. Grow. Can you see it? No.
I saw something about I can't even remember where. I mean, it was probably on Instagram, and they were saying like to feel more grounded to like go talk to a tree. And I saw like different people. I think I told you that a while ago. Maybe it was probably on our Zoom class. But there were people that were talking to trees and like getting them to respond.
Oh,
But
absolutely.
that person, because I saw a few different people try it.
Yeah.
Typically the person that was like, to like really connect and ground yourself to touch a tree, like, or maybe that's what it was, like touch or like just connect with a tree to like form that bond and ground yourself. So I started doing it a while ago actually.
Yeah, they know you too. They'll know your vibe. You'll get entrained with your plants.
Hmm.
You'll be able to feel them, what they need. You need what you need. They're already growing. You guys want soil? Not yet? Okay. You? Yes. Okay. Okay. You? Mm. Yeah. Oh, this is gonna have a lot of mint in it. That's fine. This one has root already. Let's wash it. This one has a root already. Hold on. No, no, no. No. See it? Right here. Right here. Come on, camera. Focus.
Do the influencer hand.
The what? What's the
Everyone
influencer
everyone
hand?
would see that like if you put something behind it, so it could be
Influencer hand.
thing on you.
It's the same color as my hand. Oh, there it is.
Yeah,
You guys see it?
yeah.
Influencer hand. I learned a new thing. It's looking for my face. I don't know how to set the camera so it doesn't look for my face. That one's ready. Put it over here. Yeah. We're on our way, mint. How long has it been? 2 weeks or so? What do you think?
Yeah, because last week we checked on it. So yeah, 2 weeks.
Okay. That's turning yellow. Influencer hand. Okay.
Or wait, no, Monday you checked on it. So did you put it in the water last week?
Wednesday. I think it was a Wednesday.
It was on
Wednesday
a
to Wednesday.
but was it
Yeah.
last Wednesday?
No, because we checked on it 1 week last Wednesday, so
Right.
or so, and it's been 2 weeks. That's kind of yellow, and the leaves are kind of crispy, so I'm gonna throw that one out. So you want to get a few clippings. You know what? You're gonna sink or swim. I'm gonna put that in there too. That's how I am. It's like I'm over it. We're good. We're getting crispy. I'm feeling the stem to see how square it is and how thick it is, to see if I want to keep it. I'm gonna give it the best chance. Pluck these off. Pluck these off. These can be called, I mean, they are new leaves and new stems like that, but you can also call them suckers. Like they'll suck some energy out of the plant. So I gave it a better chance, but you see that neck right there, that black spot?
Mm-hmm.
I don't like that.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna break it off right there, right below it, because that's like I'm gonna keep that for a talking point. But
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna break that off. Just shut it in the ground, see if you live or not. So this happens in the human body. When you study plants, when you study medicine, you learn from all the different situations you get put in. So that is difficult to recover. You would need herbs like you would need chi tonics. So if I was gonna try to bring a piece of flesh back to life, it's not quite dead, right? Because it's surrounded by green. So there's a chance this thing could recover. We got a little root right here. There's a chance this thing could recover, but you'd have to nourish it, and then you'd have to flush it with blood, or the blood in the plant is the sap.
Mm-hmm.
that comes up through the little arteries and veins for a plant. So what this guy, it would repair itself eventually, but most likely it would put off shoots and go around it. The body would probably go around it and destroy this part and reabsorb it into the body. Okay? But by giving the body tonifying herbs and blood movers, gentle blood movers, you could get it to go through this and nourish the other parts of the plant. So let's say we're trying to nourish it this way. It would nourish those roots, and then new life would come out from here and connect and reconnect to the other side like a bridge, and then the body would get rid of this part. So I'm going to plant this anyway. Because you might as well try. Taking out we got, what's that? Weeds. Grass. I think that one big stem though is very happy. Finally in soil. Did you see the Instagram post about the mushrooms eating plastic?
Is that one that you sent?
I don't know. I think I posted it on my story. But yeah, there's fungi that are eating plastic. I really have a lot of faith in the fungi. You know, for those of you who just need a refresher, we have an animal kingdom, which kind of looks like eyes, nose, mouth, movement. So things that move are like on their own, independently of the ground, I guess, are animals. Vegetables, which basically use photosynthesis to live, and then like use chlorophyll maybe for plants. And then we have fungi, which is a whole other kingdom. We have the animal kingdom, the plant kingdom, and we have the kingdom of the mushrooms or the fungi. And what they have in common with animals is that they can learn. They're not like plants can't learn very quickly, but plants adapt, I guess, a lot slower to their environment than fungi. Fungi can, like plants have, fungi can eat anything versus plants. Plants have like specific nutrients that they want, but fungi can mutate. Let's just say mutate. Like a tulsi plant will be a tulsi plant, and the babies from the tulsi plant will be a tulsi plant. Mm-hmm. But fungi can mutate quite a bit. Like you can germinate spores and get so much variance on the DNA that the mushroom that you're growing can look nothing like the mushroom that it came, not nothing like, but not a lot like the mushroom it came from. Like I grew some lion's mane in a specific way, and my friend says that I should like patent it, and maybe I should, but I'm busy, so I don't think I have time to patent it. But I grew some lion's mane that looked like ramen noodles. So it grew like a nest, and it holds a lot of sauce. But yeah, I think we have it in Los Angeles, but only a few people have seen it. So anyway, fungi also can learn to eat anything. So if they're hungry, like if a plant is hungry, the plant will die. But if the fungi is hungry, it will learn to eat whatever else is around. So you can train your fungi on a petri dish, and don't put any like nutrients in the dish except for what you want it to eat. So you can put plastic in there. We already like kind of thought about that. Put plastic on the petri dish, and it learns how to eat plastic. In the mushroom societies that I sort of used to run around in, that was something that we did for fun, and people were thinking like, oh, we could clean up the environment like this, and so they are now. Someone has, it looked like a turkey tail variety, but they have the turkey tail variety looks like that it's eating like plastic bottles. And when a mushroom eats its substance, it doesn't become part of the mushroom as it is. So let's say it's cleaning up an oil spill, which it does, which we've done that already. We put a blanket of oyster mushrooms, right, on oil spills, and the oyster mushrooms ate the oil. But that doesn't mean when you eat the mushroom, you're gonna get petroleum. It will completely transform like an animal. It won't store it like a plant. It will completely transform it like an animal into nutrients for you, and it will be still healthy. So even the mushrooms, I would say, that are cleaning up the radioactive stuff in Russia, in Chernobyl, are not radioactive themselves. So like radioactive material have it takes a long time to break down. It's called a long half-life. Half-life is measured in how long it takes for that substance to break down in half, like to be half the size. Now I don't know what it is, like thousands of years. But a mushroom can get to it and break it down within months. So fungi are amazing. We can use it for oil spills. We use it for like any sort of pollution that we create, because they are natural decomposers. So any sort of like large waste material. There was a company in the UK that was using coffee grounds and wood chips to grow oyster mushrooms, and it works. Like I would go to coffee shops in LA. Now Nigel does. He goes to coffee shops in LA and picks up the old coffee grounds, and we mix them with hardwood pellets. If you have a mill in your area and they have hardwood like waste, then you can grow oyster mushrooms. I mean, how much is it at the grocery store?
I never buy mushrooms, so.
Oh, okay. Oh, right, you don't. I'm sorry, but this is the segment Charisse will not be participating in. You can grow it on old jeans. You know, if the jeans are too raggedy to recycle or give out to like Goodwill, and you're just gonna throw them away, you can grow mushrooms on them. So, you know, it's a thing. It's a thing to try to reduce landfill. I'm not worried about it because I know about mushrooms. But I think if people knew about mushrooms, you'd be less worried about it. But still, try not to burden a landfill with too much stuff. Not like you have to grow mushrooms yourself at home, because it is quite a process. But just know that nature can recover. I know that the millennial generation, is that you?
Yes.
You guys grew up with like environmental trauma?
Yes, but I think it hit Gen Z a little more. Like they're
Okay.
all like, no, you can't ruin the. And I think there are a good amount of millennials, but I think some like we're aware, but I think some don't care, some do. But Gen Z is very like on.
Yeah, I was Gen X. I'm Gen X, and I was one of those that was very concerned about the environment. Hawaiians typically are,
Hmm.
and we all are in Hawaii. Doesn't matter what generation, but I was very adamant about it. I was more adamant about it than probably any normal person back then would be. But now I vibe with, I guess, millennials and Gen Z on that point. So much so that it made me try to figure out solutions. And one thing I came across was mushrooms.
Hmm.
And yeah, now I'm not worried. Mushrooms are amazing,
Yeah.
amazing, amazing. Um,
Mushrooms will save the world.
huh?
Some
I
mushrooms will save the world.
the At least the natural world, they do. Some mushrooms are very symbiotic with specific plants, though. They have best friend plants.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like if you try to grow truffles, you really need to have an oak forest or I mean, I forget what kind of forest. I think it's an oak forest. You need to have like a hardwood forest, period, because they communicate with the tree's roots. So it's very difficult to grow truffles like outside of a forest, but although it's been successful already. Morels also need certain conditions that are usually found in the forest, but I think truffles are really difficult to grow. Do you guys know truffles? There's a code word for there's truffles that are code word for certain psychedelic mushrooms, and there are truffles that are the ones that you put on like Italian food, I guess. No? Nobody knows about truffles? Okay.
I like no bigger than a
You have you had it? Like
I've
truffle
had them.
chips?
Truffles, I don't mind. They're very strong.
You're not supposed to put a lot.
Yeah, no, that's why I know they feel strong.
Yeah. Truffles are like wasabi and black pepper, like you're not supposed to use a lot.
Yeah, I don't like cook with them myself. I'm trying to think. No, I know people that have made like truffle dishes at home. Um, but no, I'll like order like truffle fries or something like that.
Yes, exactly.
Hmm.
Delicious. And now they can be farmed, so the price is going down,
Mm.
which I appreciate.
I didn't realize that's. Oh, and there was another one. There's this other. She's a black woman in Georgia that has her own farm. It's a like chantilly mushroom
Oh, chanterelles.
or chanterelle, maybe. Yeah.
Yeah, chanterelle mushrooms. Hey, everybody, you're in Wisconsin. We're
Hey.
talking about
Yeah.
Wisconsin. Yeah. Wisconsin ginseng is very good. So get some ginseng while you're there. Get some American ginseng. I don't know if you can find like a ginseng farm, or actually wild ginseng from Wisconsin is highly prized and the most expensive ginseng now. Why? We come full circle to our original thought, yeah, which is it's neutral, it's mild, it's still effective, but neutral means that it's neither hot nor cold. It doesn't change the body's temperature, yet it still does what ginseng is supposed to do, which is to help you absorb nutrition. Right. So the other things that help you absorb nutrition is any digestive, like black pepper makes turmeric bioavailable. So So turmeric and black pepper could go together. But ginseng makes you be able to absorb the nutrition from carbohydrates better. So these combinations, these like herbal combinations are, yeah, these herbal combinations are something that you can go into for the rest of your life. But simply adding a digestive like ginger or cumin, coriander, fennel, ginseng, that's an expensive digestive, but nothing rejuvenates you like ginseng, because your body's power, it can deliver proteins and sugars to all the parts of your body. So I want to try it with my protein requirements. I notice if I eat enough protein that I can recover best from my workouts. And if I don't eat enough protein, my recovery is very slow. So if you go to the gym and you're hurting the next day, try pounding down like a protein shake, seriously, or peas, legumes. I think it was the day that my friend's mom, who's Indian, she cooked me some lentil curry with rice and Greek yogurt. Greek yogurt it's really high in protein. Mm-hmm. So she cooked the lentils and she put rice, and I ate them together. And then she put a large dollop of Greek yogurt on top. And I would like dip into the Greek yogurt and eat my curry. And that day, I broke every single personal record at the gym ever. And my body wasn't sore or tired. Like something about pulses. Pulses is the category of like beans, I guess. You could call it legumes. Pulses. Pulses are crazy good protein. Like I do take protein shakes with BCAAs and they do work. But I think I found something better. And I want to learn to make more dishes, more cooking dishes from that category. So we can put, I did learn some Indian cooking for a year and a half from Ayurveda. When I was in school for Ayurveda, we would cook every weekend. So maybe I've cooked with my teachers 50 times or so, which is, nothing like having an Indian mom hundreds and hundreds of times, but 50 times I got a pretty good foundation.
Yeah.
There's always more to learn. And you put a little ghee. You guys know what ghee is? Do you know what ghee is?
Yeah.
Clarified butter? Yeah. Mm-hmm. You put some ghee in it and it makes it so that the ghee can deliver the nutrients, okay? It is said the specialty of ghee is that it can take on the property of anything that you put into it.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yet, it doesn't get stuck anywhere. So, like, if you take ashwagandha, if your digestion isn't strong enough for ashwagandha, you can hurt yourself. You can grow tumors and things. You can get digestive issues. But if you make a ashwagandha if you put little ashwagandha with ghee and you warm it up that way, you cook it that way, then the ghee will take on the properties of the ashwagandha, and ghee can go anywhere in your body. It can permeate all of your cells. So it can deliver the properties. It's like it will clone the ashwagandha, kind of. It will clone the properties of ashwagandha and take it to all of your tissues without you having to digest ashwagandha. because it's very difficult. So in I hurt my neck. I hurt my neck when wheeling, and my arm is numb. Not all numb, but it comes and goes. The numbness comes and goes, which means I have nerve damage. I know I've been dragging my feet, but I know kind of what to do. I will get bala, which is in herb, ashwagandha, and maybe guduchi, maybe not. Guduchi is like for my muscles because I do work out. So maybe I'll put them all into one formula. For my nerves specifically though, I will get bala and ashwagandha 50-50. Maybe put a tablespoon in some warm milk or some milk. I might as well give you a typical recipe on how to use Ayurvedic herbs. So to make a Kshirapaka, Kseerapaka, a Kshirapaka, or an herbal infusion with milk, very Ayurvedic. You will take 1 teaspoon is the safe dose. 1 tablespoon is a little, you should ask before you use 1 tablespoon. 50-50 bala and ashwagandha. Then you take half a cup of milk and half a cup of water. Put it on the stove. Mix it all in, and keep it up, and let that solution preparation shrink to half the volume. When it shrinks to half the volume, the water will have boiled off and you will have infused milk called a chilapaka. Then you drink that. Now the herbs the components from the herbs that are water soluble have come out because you put half a cup of water in it, and the fat soluble parts have come out into the milk as well because of the butter or the oil that's in milk. And if you want to make it a little more digestible, put like half teaspoon of ghee, mix it up and drink it. Then it will be delivered to all of the body parts. And it will just be, I would just self-report how my hands are feeling, but middle finger has been numb, getting worse for some time, so I think I should order some bala because I already have ashwagandha. And then, because I work out, I will probably also add guduchi. I don't need the guduchi for my nerves, but who has time to make like four herbal decoctions every day? I just want to make one. You can make one big batch and drink half in the morning, half at night. Why do you want to drink half in the morning and half at night? Is because the effects run out. Herbs are basically, herbs will be used up and then it will be excreted through whatever system, the urine system, the feces, or sweat. And then the effect of the herb will run out. So I think my nerves need more constant, like a momentum to heal. So momentum is driven by taking your herbs like 12 hours apart, so that you always have that in your body and your body can repair. If I feel a little bit better, but as I keep taking my herbs, I only feel a little bit better and it's not getting better. Because I felt a little bit better with the half a cup of milk and the teaspoon, then and it's not getting better over time, like a lot better over time, I'm going to increase my dose to 2 teaspoons in the same amount of milk to make it more potent. And that's sort of my thought process when I prescribe herbs. And it can, since you understand that now, you can help and you can think that way. Um, and be cautious is what I would say. Start off slow, even if my progress is slow at first. And by slow, I mean, what, I hurt myself in October. This is July, so 10 months ago it took to develop this much. So for every year you have the disease, you have to give it 1 month to see if you're able to get out of it. So I haven't had this for a year yet, so I expect to feel somewhat better after my first dose. I suspect I will feel pretty good after my first dose. I did this same decoction for my back when I hurt my back with a herniated disc, because I knew I was doing too much. I knew I was depleted from school. Mental depletion also counts as depletion. So if you have like nerve issues, like sciatica or whatever, then oh yeah, Irma. I know. I apologize, Irma. There are so many solutions I have in my like toolkit, and so I can't like give you all of them. So what I would do: 2 tablespoons of what, and 1 glass of milk. No. And this is a problem. Like I'll say something and then you'll get it completely wrong. So if you're gonna play with it, play with one, not a tablespoon, teaspoon. There's a huge difference. A tablespoon is 3 teaspoons. You got it? A teaspoon. I did not say 2 tablespoons. 2 small spoons. So it should be written down for you. That's why I would recommend you, like, this is just for like your education. Voice went in and out. Yeah, voice went in and out, and then you're gonna try it. Don't do that. Make sure you're clear. Ask questions. Good for you to ask questions. So maybe one stream, well, maybe we should do it together because I have a problem. So I'm gonna order my herbs from either Atreya Ayurveda, I can't even comment. Why? I have to comment in this other one. Atreya, which is my oh, I can't comment as myself. Okay, fine.
I comment
Rude.
all the time.
It tells me I have to sign in, like, fine. Atreya, I don't know, Ayurveda. Maybe I should just, since I'm on the computer, maybe I should just look it up. Hold on. Atreya Ayurveda. I'll get you the link. Oh, Atreya Herbs. Okay. ATHREYA herbs.com. Okay. In Duarte, California. Or you want Banyan Botanical in New Mexico. You just look this up, Banyan Botanicals. Either one, you get your Bala Ashwagandha. And the reason I always have 2 sources is because it runs out, right? When one company has it, then the other one doesn't. So I would put like Bala get bala and you get ashwagandha. And do not give this to your mom, right, with digestive issues. Don't give it to people with digestive issues. I'm going to put it in writing. Do not take if you have digestion issues. Period. You're welcome. Half cup water, half cup milk, 1 teaspoon, half a teaspoon bala, half a teaspoon ashwagandha. It's safe if you use 1 teaspoon of each, and then boil down to half a cup. So about half. Doesn't have to be perfect. You boil the milk, right, and then you let it simmer. It takes a long time. Let it simmer down to half a cup. And this is why people don't do it very much. It's because it takes a long time. And this is why I don't give it to my patients very much. Is because we don't have that tradition of, like we just haven't been taught to do this in the kitchen, which I think we have to do it. Maybe I'll get an induction stove here and make it on camera right here. Right here.
So that would be fun.
Yeah? Okay. Hope you have fun.
Might as well. Remember, we did say we would do some like cooking. You're adding in the herbs already.
Yeah, I guess so.
A way to set it up where it's not like, too crazy.
No, right here. Oh, right here. Just right here.
Right.
We're gonna start like right like that.
Yeah, we can plan for it.
Half water and half cup water, half cup milk. Ashwagandha, cooking Ayurveda. What? Ashwagandha bala. Don't forget the bala. No. Nope. Okay. And how much ashwagandha? How much? What? No. I'm gonna keep it simple. It's 1 teaspoon ashwagandha, 1 teaspoon bala. Bring to a boil, then let simmer and reduce down to 1/2 cup of liquid. Then drink it. I'm gonna see. Gosh. Oh. Type stuff. So like right here when I'm doing this and I'm squeezing this part of my shoulder, my hands feel like they're waking up from, falling asleep. The tingle is quite strong. Oh my gosh. Okay. Put in the code right here now. Well, it's about the first hour, right? 9 to 10. Yeah. And yay, I can type in, I think now. It's like my station. Hi. Thanks for letting me in. Jeez.
which is so funny.
Hmm. I guess there must be like built-in. Completely understand dealing with neck, shoulder for some time. Hope you recover soon. Yeah. I think I will if I do the things. That's another like there are so many things to do. I understand. I am a doctor and this is my life. But tell me if I can do all these things.
It's easier
That's
to
why
help others than to help yourself sometimes.
oh gosh. That's why I ask on my intake sheets, do you have someone at home that can help you? Makes such a huge difference. Like my friends they're Indian. She has a mom who knows how to do all this stuff. I'm like, you have such an advantage. I can't imagine that you won't get completely better. Because if you have someone in the house that knows how to, like, first of all, knows what I'm talking about, and has had, like, put in her ear here and there all the little details over some time, like, she's not gonna mess up the formula. She's not gonna mess it up. You're gonna get it properly cooked so that the medicine is available. I think the worst thing that can happen though is that you burn it and nothing happens in this case.
Mm-hmm.
Or like, now that we have Twitch and I don't know everybody on Twitch, they can go off and try it on their own for too long and then get a tumor. And they have been, or you can get sick. If you're sick, oh my gosh, I'm gonna put this in here. Don't take ashwagandha when you're sick.
Interesting.
It will make it worse. It tonifies everything. It is not selective. Ashwagandha is like strengthening, but when you strengthen everything, you even strengthen the disease. So you need more selective. You need to have more like selective herbs when you get sick. We have a whole line we should start talking about. Let me grab my. Let me see what I have in my pharmacy. I'll be right back. Okay, you have to take a potty break? Should we intermission?
I can go grab some water.
Okay, be right back. Everybody grab some tea. So if you're new to the channel, please follow us. We're fairly new. I think we're one away from 50 followers. I wonder who's going to be our 50th follower. I want to show her all this. Maybe I should put it down. I brought, I hope, all the things. What I was, maybe we could change it. Can we change the name? Can we change the name of this stream?
Mm-hmm.
Because now we're gonna talk about herbs for common cold. What do people call it? What do non-medical people call it? Herbs for when you get sick? What do you guys call it? When you guys get sick, what do you call it?
Oh, like, I was about to say over-the-counter medicine, but that's not really when you get sick. Well, that's what you take when you get sick.
You guys don't seem to understand.
Well, you guys don't seem to understand.
The weather? I don't know what else. Just when you get
Okay.
sick.
Yeah. So what would the title be of this?
Herbs for sickness?
Okay. Herbs for when you feel sick, I guess.
Okay.
I guess. That's what we're going to talk about next. Right on. Here we go. Cool. Natural remedies, Ayurveda, heat, Japanese blockage, holistic medicine, medication, just chatting in. Yep. Okay. Right? Here we go. Hello. How do I do that? Okay, so is it herbs for when you feel sick? All right, thank you. All right, what kind of sick? First of all, I want to differentiate. I want to tell you that there's a difference between virus and the common cold. And the common cold is literally from getting stuck out in the cold. We also call it wind in Chinese medicine because the theory is that the cold air gets into your pores, or the wind gets into your pores, and the cold air shuts the door off with the enemy inside. So that you can't expel the enemy from your body because your pores are shut because it's cold. Which gives you a strategy of sweating out your cold. So there is a tradition in TCM, or traditional Chinese medicine, that whenever you get stuck out in the cold air, especially at night, you drink some ginger tea with the skin on. So important to have it with the skin on. And you wrap yourself up. I don't care if you feel hot. You'll see like Asian moms wrap their kids up and their kids are like, ah, it's hot. To make them sweat it out. Because when you get sick, I think this is the most underrated problem in medicine, is that when you get sick, when you catch the common cold, it morphs quickly and it is deadly. The world saw COVID, but I wrote a book called Be Healthy Forever, Never Get the Common Cold Again, before COVID, because I was sick a lot as a child, and I've seen people die of pneumonia over and over and over. And what is that? That pneumonia is nothing but a morphed version of the common cold. So if you take pneumonia a bit further back, you will see a decrease in your immune system. What is that? Decrease in the immune system just means that your body isn't strong enough to fight all the things, all the stresses you're giving it. The stresses can come from various sources. Mental stress, weather, sleep, diet, lack of exercise. And they compound on each other. So it's not just, okay, your mind is making you sick. It can happen. But it's usually you're worrying, and then you stayed up late, and then you forgot to eat, or you're eating junk food, and you skip the gym, and you get your period, and boom, you're sick. Yeah. The cold air hit, and you sit under air condition at work. Mm-hmm. And you want to be sexy, so you don't wear too much clothes. Then you drink, you party with your friends. You drink on the weekends. You smoke. You just put all these stressors in your body. You go to 7-Eleven, grab some Doritos and Coke, and you call it a night, right? And your body's, you gotta give your body credit. It can handle most of that a lot of the time. But if you do it over and over and over and over, you don't have enough energy to open and close your pores anymore. When people get very, very tired, they start leaking. They start sweating easily, profusely. I don't necessarily see profuse sweating as a good thing, unless you're kapha, unless you are a water element. But if like a thin person starts sweating profusely, they're losing too much fluid. And they're losing too much fluid because most likely their lifestyle is just as I described. Typical 20s, right? 20s and 30s. So what can you do? You can be mindful. You can learn about what is going on with you. And I brought like all my formulas here. And you will notice, do I have one that's red? That I just noticed that all of these caps are blue. I have green caps and I have red caps. When you see, in my line of formulas, if you see blue, this means that this formula is cold. And it's not for cold, it is cold. Or it takes stuff away quickly. So it would remove the common cold quickly. It would kill off bacteria quickly. It would open up your sinuses quickly. And quickly is to be used sparingly. Quickly is not something that you do all the time. But some strategies like the common cold, you wanna get rid of it quickly, because the next stage, if you ignore it, turns into oh, I've been coughing for some time now. Then it turns into a dry throat where your mucus lining is damaged. Then you can get attacked from outside. Okay? Chinese medicine, sometimes we use battlefield verbiage, like, as to explain what's happening to your body. You get attacked. You're always attacked from inside. You're made up of a lot of different bacteria that your body has to handle. And then on top of that, you don't have a mucus lining, so you get secondly attacked from you have to fight two battles now. No one wants to fight a battle on two fronts. So you start having to fight this battle on two fronts, and very quickly your body is dying. And that triggers all the bacteria that starts to eat your body and turn it into, you start decomposing. So you have phlegm that turns yellow or green. You now have an infection. An infection is your body thinks you're dying, so it's starting the decomposition process. And you're on your way out. Then you start getting a fever. It's one of your body's ways to try to kill off the attack, to try to stay alive. Try to digest what's going on here. And from that fever, maybe you're not hungry, so you're not getting any supplies. You see how this quickly turns very bad. It turns very bad, and you can end up in the hospital. You can end up dead, period. I don't want to scare anybody. Probably there's not that many people here. But I don't think I'm supposed to say that word. You can end up in the hospital. You can end up with a life-threatening situation. You can end up with pneumonia. That infection can go to your lungs. It can also go to your heart. It can also make you blind. It can also make you deaf. You can lose your sight from high fever. Yes, you can. You can lose your hearing from high fever. It's called a febrile disease, a very hot disease. It can ruin your organs. So that's why the herbs are cool. During this time where you have like high fever, you sweat a lot, you start to feel like eating a lot, but you throw it up. Your high fever, high sweat, right? We call it the 4 bigs. I forget what the other one. Big fever, big sweat, big thirst, and big hunger. All 4 together means very high temperature as well. This is the time where we use some of the coldest herbs in our pharmacopoeia. And you can get in a Chinese pharmacy something called watermelon something. It's the only watermelon thing that they have. But I don't want you to get it twisted. Eating a watermelon will not produce the same results.
I just saw a girl. She made like a watermelon jelly, and was basically kind of I want to say she kind of accredited it to TCM, but she also juiced the watermelon and then did like a pickled watermelon rind. And it was something that she said, like got the or maybe it wasn't her, but I've been seeing a lot of random watermelon recipes in that light, like candied rinds and things like that. And one of the videos, somebody said that the real, like, the most nutrients were in the rind.
Yeah.
That was interesting.
Yeah. Please don't eat like the red part or the fleshy part of the watermelon. I think you're going to get the same results. When you study herbs, you have to know the different parts of the plant can do very different things. Like I think dangui, the roots move the blood, and the top parts slow it down. So one part moves the blood, the other part slows the blood flow down. In the same plant. So you can't just say what plant is it. You have to know like what part is it. And you don't even have, and that's not even enough to know what part it is. But how do you produce it? Like how do you bring the medicinal effect out? So it's called watermelon frost. And I think you spray it in there to reduce like tonsil infection. But the herbs have to be cooked properly so that they keep their effectiveness. And also you have to check, you have to know how to identify a plant that is eligible to be used as medicine. Will it work? Right? So can you imagine over time, people would use the same plant and then it wouldn't work? And then they have to figure out why it didn't work. And it was found that if you grow the plant with a certain farmer who knew a certain skill, that plant would be more guaranteed to have that medicinal effect. So sometimes when we talk about plants, we also talk about where they're from. Like the Sichuan province of China is very famous for having plants there that have medicinal properties. Same plant, same watermelon from Sichuan will not be the same as the watermelon from like California. So you would take it and it will not have the same effect. So I highly recommend getting herbs that are already made for you, unless it is your hobby or your special interest to really dive deep into it. Because we are talking about health, and because we are talking about lives, maybe it's my filter that I'm very serious about it. That doesn't mean you can't try, because I really do want you to try on your own. But know what you're trying with, and know when to ask questions in the room. And I want everyone to figure it out and play with it for yourselves in small doses, in a safe way. You are probably going to hurt yourself a few times. I know I have. And it's always because you misdiagnosed it or you went to extreme. So we can talk about, you went to extreme with your doses or your frequency. And be forewarned, many herbalists have died getting the knowledge that I'm giving to you. So over millennia, they already figured out how to stay safe doing this. We have dose guidelines. We have amount guidelines that we had to memorize in school, like typical dose guidelines. And then you have to assess the patient to see if the patient can handle that dose, if they're eligible to take these herbs. This is something that I truly think is important for anyone who's interested in herbs to learn and to understand. Just respect your herbs. There are some things you're not going to hurt yourself on, and those things would be under the neutral category. So if you want to Google it and you look up an herb, look up the herb's properties. If it has the word neutral in it, it's safer than if you have an herb that is very hot or very cold. A lot of these herbs that are for the common cold are cold to, it's cool. The range of like what do you call it? Safety range is if you have cool herbs, it'll be labeled cool, it will be labeled cold, and it will be labeled very cold. Stay away from the varies. Let me do that. Maybe even stay away from cold and hot. Let me do that too, because you can hurt yourself too on those. Mildly cold or cool. You might see mildly cold or you might see cool. You might see warm versus hot versus very hot. So stay within warm and cool and neutral. Right in that middle ground, you'll hurt yourself less. I hurt myself with a herb that was very hot, which is ginger. Dry ginger. There is a huge difference between dry ginger and fresh ginger. Fresh ginger is super safe. You can like chop up some fresh ginger every day, put it in your tea. But don't think because we run out of time or we get somewhat lazy that we buy dry ginger or we buy granules that dissolve, like in the Chinese supermarket. You can buy dry ginger that dissolves. This should be considered very hot. Okay? So, the same plant prepared in different way can have a different effect. Huge effect on it. If you have Raynaud's and you need to warm up your Raynaud's is a heart chi issue. Raynaud's, no Western medicine person will agree that it's a heart issue, but in Chinese medicine, it is a heart chi, or the power of your heart issue. The heart being attached to also emotion. So when you get nervous, people get more cold in their fingers, right? There's a disease called Raynaud's where your fingers get so cold they're painful and the blood stops going to the fingers and they turn white, blue, or red. I call it like the American, the red, white, and blue thing, or French, whatever. But if your fingers or toes are turning these colors, then you don't have enough energy to push blood to the ends. And there are very hot herbs. I have a formula for that. I call it toasty fingers and toes. And if you have Raynaud's, Western medicine has no solution for you at all. And that's why I put that formula out, because someone with Raynaud's can easily take it. Please start with a small dose, and it's quite safe if you do it that way. So, as far as the common cold goes, I have a formula called Cold Flu Sinus. Here. I have a formula called Sinus Comfort Plus. And we have Cough Drop. Okay? So, or we have common cold as well. Let's start with the basics. Common cold. Common cold are for those times where you got stuck out literally in the cold at night and you need to sweat it out. you start getting, your tendons start to get like hard, and you get a headache. This is like a tension sort of headache, not from psychological tension, but literally from cold air. If you have wet hair and you go out at night and you get wind that touches your scalp and your hair is wet, then you can easily end up with a headache. Your eyes can start to hurt. Your nose can start to run. You will notice that the first warning shot will be that you'll sneeze. Whenever someone sneezes, like I know people just say, oh, bless you. When someone sneezes, my first red flag goes up. If they sneeze again, a second red flag goes up. And if they keep sneezing, I will wonder if it's dust. I will hope that it is just dust. But if they had gone out the night before or slept with wet hair, I immediately changed my suspicions to they're catching a cold. Their body cannot defend from outside attacks. Perhaps they need to have some ginger tea right away and go to sleep. Because I don't shop very often and I don't keep fresh ginger in my house like I want to, I have this. This has ginger in it. It has lots of things in it. It has honeysuckle. But don't get twisted and think you can buy honeysuckle and it'll just fix everything. It has fresh ginger prepared. So it was prepared with fresh ginger, which locks in the properties of fresh ginger, even if it's a dry product. That's so amazing. The Chen family did this. It has honey fried licorice. So if you wanted to prepare honey fried licorice, you would soak your licorice sticks in honey. It's a very messy process, but some people like messy. And then you would fry it, which would make it slightly toxic as per Ayurveda, correct? And so since it's a little toxic, it will stick to the toxins. That's the proper time to use honey like that. Other than that, don't heat honey, don't cook with honey. It turns into a toxin. So the art of herbology is literally using poison to get rid of poison. All substances, I would say all medicine is slightly toxic. This is why you don't live on medicine. You should not be taking you should not have to take that medicine for the rest of your life. It will compromise your kidneys, it will compromise your liver. Right? So I don't even want to say our because I'm so sad for the American team of medicine. In America, they use harsh herbs. They get all these ideas from traditional sources, and then they make it extreme and have you live off of them, and it's killing you. It's hurting your liver. It's hurting your kidneys. Eventually, they'll have you take more medicine to try to keep you alive, but yet you have to filter it through your system somehow. Through your liver, so you put more pressure on your liver, you put more pressure on your kidneys. So these medicines, that I'm giving you, you should not have to live off of them. I rarely take these. I mostly try to regulate my sleep, diet, exercise, and do simple things like blow dry my hair or blow dry my scalp. If you want to be specific, blow dry your scalp. Your flesh should be warm. Your hair doesn't care. Like if the ends of my hair are dry or wet, I don't care. I care to the extent that it will leak through my shirt and produce a weak spot on my body that the wind can touch and close off my pores. Small attack. Sometimes I do. Sometimes if I'm in a hurry, I'll just dry off my scalp. Okay, so let's start with common cold. That's that one. Then a cold is not the same as virus. I swear, every time they try to blame China for a virus, I'm so irritated. Because it's not that bad, like swine flu, bird flu. Anytime you hear the word flu, it's something that scares the Western medicine, is because they have no answer for it. Their virus medicine is atrocious. They have nothing for you. Like Chinese medicine immediately can solve this problem. Immediately. When the swine flu, I think, or the bird flu was in the news, I was in school, and in the Chinese medicine department, we were not scared at all. We just used the knowledge from the virus section of our knowledge. That's it. So this is a broad spectrum virus fighter, which also fights against COVID. But since COVID is once you get COVID though, you should get COVID be gone. Once you get COVID, it has transformed into something else. But right away, if you feel like your energy has been zapped, take Virus Zapper. That's why I named it Virus Zapper. I tried to name these things so that you would know how to use it. This is for when your energy gets zapped. When your energy gets zapped, it is most likely a virus. The virus isn't the cause of your disease. The cause of your disease is staying up late, not eating right, not exercising properly, so not having an imbalance between rest and movement, and sometimes thoughts. But if you get in trouble and you catch a virus, or the virus is threatening you, your energy, you'll feel like, oh my God, I'm suddenly tired. Okay? So, if it goes to your nose, usually, I would add in Sinus Comfort Plus as a preventative. If you already know that it hits your sinuses, you're going to feel like a genius because you're going to prevent it. You're going to prevent the enemy from going to where it normally goes. That means your weakness is in your sinuses. Some people's weakness is in their chest. Then I would add cough drop. This one. This one. Cough drop. What is in it? Screenshot that if you want. It'll take you about 3 years to study this combination. You don't have to. You don't have to figure out how electricity works. You just turn on the light switch. But I don't know why people want to know like everything about chemistry before they take these things. That's a little insulting. I think it's because in Western medicine you take a pill to solve everything. But in Eastern medicine we study you as a whole being and study combinations over generations, which is, these herbs are going to work very well and it's very impressive. But that took many generations to figure out. So if you're just starting, you can learn simple combinations first. You don't have to reinvent the wheel. I highly recommend you don't reinvent the wheel because you'll be dead by then. You won't do it. this generation. So since people were having trouble figuring out if they had common cold or virus, I put them together in I used to have a formula called cold flu. But since a lot of people also have runny noses on top of everything else in their sinus, I put a combination called cold flu sinus together, which is a combination of these three. Okay. What I do encourage you to do, though, if you are a budding herbalist, is I do recommend that you get these three formulas separately and see if you can practice your skill of figuring out if it's common cold or virus. So you take like there's a spoon in here. You would take maybe 6 spoons. And you should feel a lot better. With the common cold, the way you dose it and take it is very different. It's different than the Bala Ashwagandha. It is almost like it's a complete juxtaposition. It's like a complete opposite position. You take a lot all at once. This is an emergency. Or you should think like that. I'm coming down with a cold. It's an emergency. I want to stop it now. Stop it now, or maybe have it linger for months or end up in the hospital. Okay, for those who are compromised. You'll start to get good at knowing whether it's common cold or virus. During COVID, I had my mom take virus zapper whenever she went out of the house. And I had her take a small dose whenever she went out of the house, and when she came back, take it again. Because my mom's in her 80s, or she was in her 70s back then. And she doesn't exercise, she doesn't eat right, she doesn't sleep right, she does none of those things. And she smokes a lot. How she's alive is, I chalk that up to having a kind heart. Her compassion is strong. She's happy, and she lives in Hawaii. Hawaii's climate is very conducive to being healthy. So she got the grace of being in that environment. But I had her take, virus zapper before she left the house. 1 spoon or half a teaspoon before she left the house and when she came back. In addition to washing up and changing her clothes. Okay? So whatever I needed to do to reduce that load. She has a high load probably internally, but I don't need her to be attacked externally as well. So gave her that, and she did it. And she did it, and I think she got sick once during COVID, but as an elderly person, she took COVID Be Gone. I name a lot of things Be Gone. She took the COVID formula. I've had several people take the COVID formula when they have had COVID, and it reduces the time that they spend being sick. When you are sick, you have to do everything. You have to wash. You have to be very clean. Boil all your water before you drink it. So there are other instructions I gave with this. Right? Just trying to get away from that Western mindset of there's going to be a silver bullet pill that you can take that'll solve all your problems. Lifestyle is very important, but you can, if you're a budding herbalist, I would play with virus zapper and common cold if you know people that get sick often. And then they're going to have a lingering cough. There are 2 kinds of cough that you could have. I named one cough drop, and I named one autumn cough. Okay? Cough drop is going to help you like in the spring. Okay, let's put it this way. Autumn cough is for dryness, usually in the autumn, usually in the fall. If people are coughing in the fall, right, September, October, November, whatever, I will pull this out first. If people are coughing in the fall and you use this one, it usually won't work. Any other time they're coughing, you can usually use cough drop. If they're coughing because they're smoking, you use lung detox and cough drop together. If you messed up or you ignored sneezing, you ignored the headache, you're starting to get a fever, you have an infection, I would recommend this herbal ABX before you take any kind of antibiotics. This is a broad spectrum antibiotic that will not ruin your digestion. Herbal ABX. I would keep this on hand for whenever the doctor says take antibiotics, or your dentist gives you antibiotics only because they can, whenever you go to the dentist. Some of them will admit that it's ruining your digestion. Some of them will just give it to you because they probably make money off of it. No offense. People gotta live. So if you support your friends and their dentists and you want to take the antibiotics, take it with a probiotic. Or you want to just get it filled, consider it a donation, and then take this instead if you are getting an infection. You have to keep your relationships going as well. So, like I'm not joking, like if your husband's a dentist, or if your husband's a doctor or MD, I've had cases where the husband was an MD, and it's always the husband, I swear, it's never the wife. The husband's an MD, the wife brought the kid in, the kid's been sick all her life. I fixed it in we saw a great amount of improvement in 1 week, and then the husband got his pride hurt and abused the wife, verbally at least, and made them demand their money back from the witch doctor. Seriously. The kid ended up being sick and is still sick as far as I know. So relationships are very important. I don't say that in jest, I'm not joking. Like I'm saying, if you do have a situation, this is how you handle it. You appear to be complying, you hide this, remove labels, put some monk fruit in it and give it to your kid as a tea. Disguise it as tea time with the girls. That works. That has seemed to work in the past. The prideful, I don't mean to demonize the men either, because they want to know that they have a place in the home. So they do it out of fear of not having usefulness in the home. So if you have to keep the peace, you can ask, how do I keep the peace? What is the strategy? What do I do? You can certainly ask those sorts of questions as well. Okay, so I've been around in medicine, and I've had so many different sorts of patients from all walks of life. You can tell me anything. If it's private, then eventually we'll get channel points where you can use it to get discounts on appointments and treatments and things of that nature. So I'm not kidding, and that's probably if you have any questions, that's probably the end of the common cold herbal section. Unless you have, I know, Sharice, you have interest in herbs. Do you have anything you want to know? I know you're multitasking and clipping and all that, and I appreciate.
But there was something. I can't remember what I wanted to. There's something I thought of. when we first got on.
Aw. You can
Not when
always
we first,
type
but
it
when
in
we were getting ready to get on. But
aw. You can always type it in the chat room and not hit send if you are gonna forget.
right.
And then send it when it's time.
Well, I think the other thing that I was thinking about, I guess we can go back to talking about like the mint and like cooling herbs. Because we started from my seasonal Ayurveda class.
Mhm.
Um, and you already talked about like mint and tulsi.
Mhm.
So I think it was me looking at the post that you sent about like the cool drinks and like
Oh,
things.
cold. Not to drink cold. Okay,
Right. So I
go
guess
ahead.
like cool drinks versus cold drinks. But there was something interesting I saw yesterday. Um, there was an account that I found that was making like like each country's most refreshing drink. And they made this like mint drink that they make in
Mm.
Iran. Um, so it was a mint syrup,
Oh, syrup.
but aside from the drink, I want to say I feel like they put something else in it. It was mint and something else. I'd have to find the video. But what I also thought was interesting from the comments that somebody said that in their culture they would have like a fresh carrot juice and add
Hmm.
ice cream to it.
Which culture has ice cream?
I can't remember.
Hardly any
But they
culture has ice cream. That's like for rich people. Okay, good comments. Good comments. So let's address one at a time. Mint, each country's most refreshing drink. So if I think of Iran, you should think of weather. The word for me in Iran, I see desert, which I know not all of Iran has like desert. I know they have coastlines. Wait, I don't know they have coastlines, but I think dry when I think Iran. I think desert. I think pomegranate. But since it's dry, I imagine that the syrup that they add is useful because sugar is moistening,
hmm
right? So that may not necessarily work in Hawaii.
right.
In Hawaii, it may make you sicker. So each country's favorite refreshing drink, but in that country.
Right.
In Japan, refreshment comes in the form of barley, which makes you pee out the excess fluids and the heat with it. So the heat goes into the water that you're urinating out, and you can cool your body down quite a bit by having barley tea in that environment. So when you're looking for something refreshing, you look for what is similar to your climate. And as far as like carrots, okay, carrots, vitamin C, vitamin A. Carrot is considered a sort of related to the ginseng.
Hmm.
Carrots are tonifying. Carrots are considered tonifying, which means makes you stronger. Carrots are safer to play with than ginseng. But don't go overboard. I had a case where one of my patients ate 5 pounds of carrot, drank 5 pounds of carrot juice a day because she was afraid of her cancer coming back. She heard vitamin C was very good for cancer, and she seriously turned orange. I'm not sure if the cancer came back or not, so whatever, but she bought a 5 pound bag of carrots and juiced it every single day. And I'm gonna say that I do think the cancer did come back, even after drinking 5 pounds of carrots, which I thought was quite extreme.
Mhm.
Uh, but so it also didn't. Maybe, who knows if it worked or didn't work? Who knows if it kept the disease at bay? But because it was so extreme, I imagine that it put something else out of balance. Balance is the harmonizing. Balance is the key to holistic medicine. So we can talk about ice. You had a comment about that ice post that I had. Yeah.
Wait, did I say that? That's funny because I don't remember if you did. I was looking for that and I found another ice post. It was a
Yeah.
very interesting play on why TCM doesn't like ice.
Yeah. Which is not the same as cryogenics.
Hmm?
Huh?
It was like a double entendre there.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, haha.
Yeah, I'll send it to you. It's very subtle but funny. But no, I was saying the carrot juice with the ice cream, I think. But I don't remember if I
Ice cream.
asked or said anything about
Ice?
ice.
No, you didn't. Because ice cream. Okay. They do it to be refreshed, right?
Hmm.
Uh, I think I should talk. I think I should talk about cold. Ice cream is very
I mean, we
attractive, of
like
course.
other
No, to address that ice cream.
oh, okay.
Yeah, to get to that point. So, when you have a cold temperature touch your digestive tract, it slows down digestion. That is not good. But in Ayurveda, if you study Ayurveda more, the beginner level of Ayurveda is like don't have anything cold. Okay? But as you go further into Ayurveda, there is a time where cold can help. And these are people who are so weak that they cannot get their blood pressure up. So cold will constrict the vessels and make them smaller, which means that you can get blood pressure, the pressure can go up. So when the pressure goes up, that means blood can reach important parts like your head. So in those cases, like my sister was very weak due to her cancer treatments. So for her, she always craved ice water. It's because it would constrict her blood vessels and she could get blood to her brain. So it would wake you up because it's increasing your blood pressure. So if you have very low, dangerous blood pressure, ice can help. That's one case, special case where ice can help. But that's not normally everyone. Furthermore, if somebody already fainted, do not put ice on them. Do not have them drink ice. It can fracture the blood vessels in the heart and they can die of a heart attack. Be careful. You can use ice on them topically, like on their underarms or their groin area, or just a cool towel. You want to warm someone up slowly. Imagine that they are in a state of being ice cold. You do not put an ice cold glass in hot water. It will break, and so will your body parts. You are part of nature. You follow these laws. Okay? And to do anything extreme like that can break or weaken the vessels in your body and just practically speaking, your esophagus sits on top of the heart. So as the ice cold water goes through that pipe, if you keep doing that, that pipe will freeze, and so will the heart. And it will either weaken the heart or will induce a heart attack for people who already have weak hearts, who may not even know they have weak hearts. Some people, they keep some of their habits that they're ashamed of, more private. So you don't know if it's like self-medicating or Western medicine, or I mean like legally medicating, or what do you call it, like self-medicating or pharmaceutically medicating or doctor medicating. You don't know what they're on, and if their heart is weakened. They don't even know. Which is a scary thing. They don't even know that their heart's getting weakened. And just like hot summer day, right? Toss back like an ice cold whatever on the advertisements. Coke, you know, Coke with the polar bears, like that cold kind of thing. Beer. You're out in the stadium, it's super hot, you throw back some ice cold beer, and you think the guy fainted because he's drunk. He could have died from a heart attack. He could have just marathons in the summer, and then you throw back something ice, soccer. And I think about things on the field in the summer. Baseball not so much because they mostly just stand around. You know, that might be okay. But soccer, for sure, they move a lot. Rugby, I guess. Yeah, I would just be careful of ice. And basically, Chinese medicine and ice, you heal slower too. Like, ice can be used as an emergency to stop bleeding. If you're afraid someone will bleed out, or you have like you hit yourself and you like hurt yourself badly and you think there's internal bleeding, ice can stop the bleeding. But we have a formula. And I should just put like my pharmacy back here, so I can just grab stuff.
Right, that would probably be easier.
Yeah, I think I need to get some nice shelves or something, but then it'll be in the way of my like blinds. I probably have to. I want to move.
One the same height as the shelf that you already have there, or repurpose that to.
Oh, because I have a lot. You saw my display at the farmer's market.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I could get a table like that and then display it like farmer's market style right here. I guess. Yeah, I could do that. That would be nice. We're gonna have a whole studio right here eventually, where I do all the stuff, massage table, whatever, acupuncture, where we do all the demonstrations. So anyway, ice not only slows your digestion, but it starts to have you develop something we call phlegm. Phlegm is that substance in the body that plugs up your cells. It gets like a little gelatinous. Your food rots basically, and then it can turn into a substance that is so difficult to digest that your body just packs it away in fat. So we call it shupang. Shupang is the unhealthy kind of fat. Not only that, is that people that get like, you know what, I just realized, maybe like endometriosis, like the fibroids that women get, because it takes more energy for your heart to get like blood to your toes. If you start to have cold toes ever, compared to fingers, you do not have good circulation. I had that at some point when I used to eat a lot of cold things in Hawaii, like ice juices all the time. Like that ice machine at my refrigerator, busy all day. And I'm
My
cracking
feet-
open the Hawaiian sun all day. Your feet are always cold? Do you drink ice things?
Um, yeah,
Yeah.
constantly as much as I have, but yes, I prefer my.
So I would be gauging the amount of ice that you can handle based on your toe temperature. It's a hard habit because of the increase in blood pressure. It makes you feel more awake. We call it refreshing. And for people who have low blood pressure, it's nice. But if you have low blood pressure, we have to talk about it. We have a formula. We have a formula for that too. But it is best if I can take your pulse or we can assess it. You can ask questions in here that we can assess it properly. And there are many reasons you would be qi deficient. Many reasons, including not breathing deeply. Qi and deep breathing are very closely related, and it's something that you can do for free. You can spend some time, I guess, if I'm talking about it now, let's take a few deep breaths together. I exaggerated that sigh. But ideally, you want to take deep breaths until you have some sort of result. Some sort of result can be like the room looks brighter because your eyes can dilate because you're relaxed. Or you sigh, or a muscle twitches and softens. Or you feel hungry. When you relax, you start to feel hungry, if you are hungry. You know? Like some people, they eat ice and then they're not hungry. And I just now wonder if that was one of my problems as a kid. I was never hungry. Stressed out, Ice numbs. You can use it to numb yourself from life. You get a hit of dopamine.
And then I heard that like chewing ice is a sign of having low iron.
It could be, but that doesn't necessarily mean because you chew ice, you have low iron. Mm-hmm. People chew ice also out of anxiety. Anything crunchy, that crunch and anxiety are related. Like chewing gum. Chewing gum can also reduce stress. Take a deep breath, chew gum, and on top of that, like ice would not be good for your digestion, but like a xylitol gum, like I'm gonna start showing you what I like because sometimes in Twitch, people buy you gifts, so I'm gonna show you. It's a culture. It's a Twitch culture. I don't have it. Darn. But xylitol gum because it's good for your enamel. It's a additional thing I do for tooth health.
You make your own toothpaste.
I make my own tooth powder.
Yeah, that's one.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I make my own tooth powder.
Yeah,
Um,
I like a charcoal powder like some years ago. And then
mm,
it was in the last few months that I saw one that they made with like a with charcoal powder and I think like a like an edible bentonite.
bentonite. Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. You can totally make your own tooth powder. The tooth powder I made was specific for my case. I had sensitive teeth. So I will now only use it if I get sensitive teeth. I will not use it every day um, because I'm also trying to grow my teeth back. So I have a different protocol, which consists of like Listerine and Crest toothpaste and all kinds of chemicals. But because I have not figured out how to do it well, I have to backtrack and admit that I still eat like sugary things. I still eat pastries and all. If I did not eat pastries, I would just take my bone density formula, chew some xylitol gum, and call it a day. And my teeth would grow back because they have a lot. Took years. But since I do the other protocol which is like topical fluoride. Fluoride should not necessarily. We can talk about fluoride. I researched as much as I could on it, and it seems like places that had fluoride in their water, a certain kind of fluoride in their water, never had cavities. But I don't think it's the same as the fluoride they put into our water for so-called health reasons. I don't think it's the same isotope. Isotopes are super important. Like if you are vitamin D deficient, taking D vitamins don't necessarily fix that. They should be D3, which is very difficult to duplicate. Sunlight on your body makes D3. And somehow in our modern society, we can't be bothered. Like we will spend money on D vitamins, but I wonder if they work. I wonder if they're bioavailable. I wonder if it increases your lab results. And I certainly am not equating lab results to health, because you can know people with perfect lab results that still feel really bad. So, although it is a tool that is a useful tool to use, labs are useful, they are not an indicator of happiness or necessarily health. Not necessarily so. Labs and lab ranges and what is considered healthy as far as labs go changes over time. If you have been following A1C counts or diabetes, you will see it fluctuate quite a bit as to what is considered healthy glucose levels or healthy A1C levels. It is not an absolute. Ayurveda makes it very clear what is a healthy and happy life. Okay, I'm not saying don't get your labs. I like to see labs. I can read labs. I like to see labs. It gives me a clue, but it doesn't give me a conclusion. It just gives me a clue. So, if your vitamin, when I took functional medicine, when I took labs and how to read labs and what kind of testing, labs and testing, when I took those classes, it's always the conclusion that we come to that you have to use your labs as a part of a whole diagnosis. And you have to keep an open mind. It always comes down to that. You have to keep an open mind and notice as much as you can about your patient. So make yourself a self-study. Notice like what your habits are. I know Charisse and I are maybe feeling something similar with the ice, like, oh, ice cream, you know? For me, I'm realizing how much ice was addiction. And just now in this stream, I was like, oh, I don't really drink ice, but I know as a kid I craved it. I know I craved it. And ice, have I had anything that cold lately? Not on purpose. Like if I go to a restaurant and they serve me ice water, I might take a sip and then I feel like it hurts, like it's too cold. Have I had milk? I have had milk out of the fridge.
I haven't had milk since I was, not directly, but not since I was 10. Like I've had it mixed in with things, but I don't just drink milk.
Yeah.
So,
Cow's milk. Cow's milk in Ayurveda is very powerful medicine.
Mhm.
They don't drink milk with every meal.
Mhm.
They use it to put herbs into it. To make a shilapaka, like we were talking about earlier. To make ghee.
Golden milk.
Golden milk, yeah. Ghee, golden milk, yeah. So ghee is prized in Ayurveda. The properties, they figured out how to use milk. The prized in Ayurveda because it takes on the properties of other herbs and it doesn't get stuck in your body. Most other herbs that tonify you are called cloying. That means it stuffs up the system. So when we make formulas, we're careful if we use anything that tonifies, that we put in some sort of mover so it doesn't like stuff up the system. Like ashwagandha is tonifying, but it's also going to be cloying. It'll stuff up the system. When a system is stuffed up and things back up, you get a tumor. It doesn't necessarily have to be cancer, but you're going to have to, if you freak out, you're going to have to check it. So you're just going to like at least waste your time going and getting a biopsy. It's painful to boot, to get flesh cut off, to test. Expensive. And unnecessary if you do it properly. So, ashwagandha, I know it's the popular one these days. Turmeric is a popular one these days. Ginger has always been popular. And fresh ginger, go for it. Fresh ginger, since it's warming, right? Fresh ginger is warming. Fresh ginger is pretty safe. Mm-hmm. And ginger should be taken in the summer. So in Chinese medicine, we have seasons when to use what. Ginger is a summer, fresh ginger is a summer herb, garlic is a winter herb. So you know how people are like, garlic's good for you, garlic's good for you? That's another one, right? Garlic. Mm-hmm. Yeah, but best in the winter. It's too heating in the summer. Would you say ginger's heating? Yeah, but ginger digests sweet. Its post-digestive effect is slightly warming, but it's also sweet. So it's modified with hydration and cooling, which you need in the summer. And ginger has the special property, if you use it at the right time, to expel deep coldness in the body, like arthritis. So the clickbait just says ginger helps with arthritis. If you use dried ginger in the winter or the summer, it will not help with arthritis. You will dehydrate yourself, which I did. This is how I know, which I did. You will figure, oh, I can just buy the granules from the store, it's easier, which I did. Drink 3 cups all day, every day, and then experience dehydration, fever, burning out your yin, and premature menopause. I did that, right? Because I did the mistake that I'm warning you against. My cousin was an herbalist. I just hung out in the place, in the shop, and I would, of course, I'm messing around with herbs. At least I didn't die, like the nuns in Taiwan. So what happens for herbalists is that we discover a new plant and we go, wonder what this does, right? So it started to become a spinach, this plant started to become a spinach substitute in Taiwan. And people were raving about it, like it's a health thing. Like not only Americans do this, everyone does this. Then people were giving each other plants and eating it as spinach, and it was fine. It cured diseases, but they thought it was food. It's not, it's medicine. So they were eating it like food, like every day, for health. And a bunch of nuns got sick, and some of them died. Like the monk and nuns are the original herbalists in the East. Okay. They do it for compassion, to figure out how to heal folks. The healers are usually like the more like spiritual ones. But sometimes there's accidents. They don't feel too bad because, of course, they died, but reincarnation, they'll come back. But still, like I can imagine regular folks who don't have that sort of like spiritual strength. It's gonna be a big deal for you if you die. It's not a big deal to monks or nuns if they die. So stop playing around with that stuff. Please ask questions. Watch your dosage. Watch it. If you have a success, don't get big-headed and double down and become more bold. They are skilled herbalists playing around with this stuff who hurt themselves from time to time. Whoops. One of my cousins said, I think I reversed my chi and this is now a death sentence, what I did. So don't do that. And that's how families learn. That's how it's learned. He comes from a family of herbalists. Tried to fix himself. His pride got in the way, tried to do it himself. Did not consult any of us. And now his chi cannot flow correctly, in correct directions. I think he might already be dead, I don't know. The skill of an herbalist, So we asked, like, has anyone seen this before? Has anyone seen this before? And they're like, nope, that was new. Now we know what not to do. And it goes down in the books. Contraindicated.
I mean, that's how we've had to learn by trial and error over time. How we have.
So that's why you come to, when you're an herbalist, you come to respect the knowledge that's already there, and you start reading books, and you start talking to each other, and you start doing it as a group project. Does anyone know any contraindications with what I'm about to do? And that's why these formulas, I like them, because they have already been proven to be safe over thousands of years. I'm good. I don't need to play with. Did you know this new herb came out, or have you heard of this new thing? When I hear new, I feel danger. I might play with it if I don't have something else that can already do whatever you're wanting me to do. But I will play with it, and I will not give you a conclusion probably for 20 years. I say I'll try it, and if I come across many people who are getting good results, that's more convincing. But the nuns got good results with their herbs, and they were taking it for like 5 years. 5 years is nothing in this medicine. 500-year minimum. It must be a generational experiment. It has to be a cohort. So you see that spinach didn't show what it does for decades. You cannot be playing with new stuff that you don't know, like people haven't written down or haven't passed down what it does long term, right? Long term, what are the long term side effects?
Right.
For that spinach, you can get sick irreversibly. You have to wonder long term effects. And you can't just say, oh, they've been taking turmeric in India for thousands of years. But how?
Right.
How? How much? When? Ghee is used more on a daily basis than turmeric.
Yeah.
Mung beans are used on a daily basis. Turmeric is used very sparingly. If a mom cooks with turmeric, it's like a little bit, like pinch in the oil, little bit. That's it. Not this pill, which looks like a small pill, but that's a lot for one person to take. In that form, who knows what the undigestible parts do? You just put this in your body daily, in everything, like you put it in your smoothie, everything, in your cold smoothie. You're going to be a puzzle. It's not I don't know if it's irreversible. I can't say that, but most things we can get you back into at least the palliative health instead of the eradicating. Palliative is like, we get you up and functioning, but what's the long-term effect? You may have hurt yourself a bit. You don't know till maybe 30 years later your bones start to break, because turmeric is astringent, drying. You may have menopause early, like I did with my ginger. But I reversed it with some herbs, but still nothing good as the original, right? So you can take a straw and bend it. You can still use the straw, but it will always have that bend in it. It will always have that weak spot. This is our thinking. And don't panic so much, because you get a new body next time. But this time, I'm sure I screwed something up.
They still have to start over with your memory.
No, that comes. Some of that comes.
Not all the way over, but you still
Yeah.
have to rediscover things.
Yeah. Yep. You have to rediscover. You have to learn how to speak your language again, usually. But as this knowledge gets out more and more and more, it'll be faster. Mm-hmm. You know, I've seen this medicine produce well sentence forming, paragraph forming toddlers, because they know the science of how to produce progeny that will come out with very little reprogramming time. Like infants, because the infant body is a little difficult to form words with right off the bat. Maybe by the age of 2, they're speaking like adults already.
Mm-hmm.
If you know, if you do the progeny part well, you can have a fully functioning, thinking toddler where you're already moving forward in their education. So they can like graduate as a doctor at like 9 years old, 7 years old, something like that. Just a beginning doctor. And by the time they've been practicing for a while, by the time they're 21, they're pretty good. As opposed to this country when by the time you're 21, you just graduate from college. And it's okay. It's education is okay. Pretty sad, actually. So there's a lot you can do, like even intellectually, emotionally, like mental health wise, physical health wise, and we don't see the physical and the mental and the intellectual as separate. There's so much further that we can get to, that we can get to, I guess, as this in this country. This country has like is gonna be most improved. We get the like most improved award because we're starting so low.
Maybe if we actually get anywhere with improvement.
You can like look at you, like you're from here, Irma's from here, I guess.
I'm American, but you know,
Me too.
Wasn't my choice.
Oh, you and me both.
Absolutely wasn't my choice.
Hey, Beanie. Hey, thanks, Beanie. You can just subscribe with with Prime. You don't have to buy it. You can just use your Amazon Prime. But thank you so much. Really appreciate it. Yeah. So really, if you only hear my words now and you don't think that don't think that it's too far gone, right? You're coming back.
Oh yeah, I'm just one person though. We need to get
I had 0 people before you.
No, we've had a long way to change the whole country.
Except if people don't share. How fast, do women help each other, women help other women? We talk a lot. We share a lot. I think through the sisterhood.
Yes, women are going to change the world. This is something we've known. If they'd only, listen.
We don't need the men to listen.
No, I know we need others.
We don't. You can put this in the home. You find a way to feed vegetables to husbands. Women already know how to get herbs in.
No, I know.
I don't like vegetables. Well, you're eating it now, haha. What do you think that meatloaf's made of?
Right.
What do you think I put in the meatballs?
Mystery meat.
Huh? What?
You say mystery meat.
Mystery meat? Oh, there's carrots in there. There's broccoli in there too. I know you said you hate broccoli, but it's in there, haha. And we do that with kids too, right? To get their nutrients in. Don't worry. I mean, what's hopeful is I have so many people that are curious. Wherever I go, I meet someone that's curious about what I do. That's a huge change from being a witch or a devil worshiper or whatever. It's a huge change. When was this stage with pitchforks and torches? Pitchforks and torches was like 2006, 2000, in the early 2000s. After, maybe I started seeing the change in like after, right during COVID or after COVID? COVID, COVID woke a bunch of people up. When did I start seeing this change? I think when Beyonce went vegan, I noticed a huge change. When she announced that, no, she didn't go vegan, but she goes vegan before her shows.
Yeah.
I don't know when that was, but I started seeing.
So,
How long? How long? What'd you say?
it was a while ago. Maybe was it before Lemon Made or before self-titled? I don't remember.
Go look, go look. I want to know because I started feeling like, huh? Why aren't you chasing me down anymore? And Billie Eilish also, like when the vegan movement was all like kind of getting bigger.
Yeah.
When
Yeah.
Bill Clinton also said he was going vegan. Huh? Which title?
It was her self-titled album, the Beyonce. Remember the
Oh.
surprise drop?
Mm-hmm.
2013.
So
Where
around that,
Beyonce
yeah,
broke the internet. So I know.
yeah, yeah. So
But she
about,
did do it around then. So I think it was kind of like a subtle
mhm.
promo without it being promo.
Bill Clinton publicly went vegan for his heart. So we had some like celebrity. What else? I think Oprah had gotten acupuncture.
Mm.
Yeah, that helped us quite a bit. Bill Clinton, Oprah, Beyonce, and Billie Eilish. Billie Eilish um, was like strongly vegan. So people not in China. Didn't necessarily go towards Chinese medicine or Ayurveda, but they were more open minded about their diet, and that snowballed. And then COVID hit, and people newly discovered hygiene, and because of the blatant break of trust by the governments of the world with the people, I think that broke a lot of people, and they started inquiring about holistic medicine. I think COVID, like Beyonce and Billie Eilish and Bill Clinton and those guys.
Series of things like each
Yep,
more people
yep.
understand and make adjustments.
And then the Joint Commission in the hospitals, the opioid crisis. The Joint Commission had just before 2021, like just before COVID, a little bit before COVID, the Joint Commission, which is, by the way, the commission that goes into hospitals and determines whether or not that hospital can receive federal funding. So it effectively shuts down hospitals. Said that you have to give people another option besides opioids. They have to refer out, which made acupuncture a lot more popular, which made Chinese medicine a lot more popular. Then when people, COVID hit, and Dr. Sebi, we can't forget Dr. Sebi. When all that, like, CMOS got popular, regular folks were getting into herbs. And my business, I shouldn't even call it a business, my services got more popular. Yep. So we're on a upswing.
Okay, I'm gonna be right back.
Okay. Hey, Beanie, you here? What's going on? Or K9, hey K9 Cougar. Sorry I outed you. Oh, okay. Well, thanks for lurking. Thanks for not lurking, but thanks for dropping by and participating and subscribing. Oh my gosh. Okay. So yeah, that's probably a good place to wrap up. Yeah, I think we're headed to I don't know. Could be a long way, could not be. I mean, look at how quickly um, fads take off. Oh, no worries. Thanks for coming in. People bounce in and out of Twitch all the time.
Right.
That's probably a good place, though,
Yeah, that was a good.
to end stream. Yeah, thanks everybody for stopping by and participating and all that. We stream on Mondays and Wednesdays now for about, okay, for a few. Mondays and Wednesdays starting at 9 and for 2 to 3 hours or so usually. Sometimes I have bonus streams. And yeah, if you want to see me do anything and request something that I can do on stream, including cook or make some herbs or something like that, just let me know. Other than that, I'm going to bid you all fond farewell and see you next time.